Welcome everybody to the White River Vision Plan kickoff. This is an exciting week for us. We spent the day with some of our steering committee and partner groups. I'm with Hamilton County Tourism. I'm sorry, my name is Brenda Myers, and I'm with Hamilton County Tourism. And I want to acknowledge Visit Indy is in the house. Matt Carter with Visit Indy is here. They're the other partner, along with the City of Indianapolis. And there are many other partners, the City of Noblesville, Hamilton County, City of Fishers, and the City of Carmel are also all partners in this project. But really, it's your project, and I think that's the thing that I really want to say today. And you'll find from our consulting team that's going to come and lead this session that the reason it's called mywhiteriver.com as the URL, because it's your White River, and what happens here is what we want you to say what happens here. And I also, every time I speak about this topic, I try very hard to acknowledge Friends of the White River and the White River Alliance and the Reconnecting Our Waterways, and many of you in this room whom I'm sure have participated in cleanups and have been a part of this river, if you're not your whole life, a lot of your lives. And so it's really important that your voice be heard. This is very much your plan. So I don't know who they're going to start with, but I'm going to introduce our team. Their team is going to come up and lead the session, and then afterwards there's all sorts of exercises they would like you to do. Thank you for coming tonight. Wow, this is amazing. We would have done the other.
Thank you so much, Brenda, and I'll just echo what Brenda said. Thank you to everyone for coming tonight. This is incredible, this turnout. I imagine you can tell you exceeded our expectations because you overfilled this room. I'm just going to give a brief introduction to the project and the process and what this undertaking is about, and then we want to spend most of the time, as Brenda said, hearing from you and talking to you and going through a lot of the information that is around the room. So that's the goal of tonight, to be able to have a lot of conversations together, learn together, hear what you know and what you aspire to. I hope you had a good moment kind of watching and flying over the White River, seeing some bald eagles and maybe finding your house. We're going to walk you through the White River in a really different way now, through a series of themes that kind of unfold the history of the place, the ecology and hydrology, some of the trails and connections, and the different stories that we're trying to reveal. So that's our intention tonight.
And you are?
I am Bree Hensold. I'll show you in one moment a little bit more about the team. I'm with a firm called Agency Landscape and Planning, and we have a tremendous team working on this, so I'll introduce all of those to you. First, we're just going to take a little bit of an overview. We're going to keep that walk over the White River flying over you afterwards, so you can stay and finish it if you'd like. I know we had to stop before we got all the way. We're going to ask you to also look all around the room at each of these boards and learn and digest information, and then give us your thoughts back, and make sure that when you leave your thoughts on the map in the back. That's really where we're going to collect everything. So the question, who are we and what are we doing here? As Brenda said, this is a regional partnership. This is a partnership of Indianapolis, Department of Metropolitan Development, Visit Indy, and Hamilton County Tourism. They're the lead partners, but they're working together with a lot of others who are too long to mention, but Brenda can fill you in on that afterwards as well. I'm Bree with Agency, as I said. I'm looking around the room and seeing lots of my team members. We have a really amazing engagement team who worked hard to get you here tonight. Did a great job. We've got some full seats. And then we have an incredible technical team who has worked really hard on putting together all of the material around the room. So I'm going to ask all of the consultant team members in the room if you could raise your hands so that people can see. Lots of hands up in the air. So these are the people that you're going to look for after I finish this quick introduction, and they're going to walk you through all the detailed information around the room. You can also spot us by these name tags as well. Okay? And if there isn't space, I wonder if I could also ask just the consultant team members to huddle at the back or in the hall so we can make sure everybody gets inside. This process is a three-part process, and we are at the beginning. In fact, you are the very first public meeting of this whole event, so you're getting the first reveal, the grand reveal to you all. We're here in this space that we're calling Discovery. So what we're trying to do right now is uncover all the stories of the river, do deep research and analysis of the place, the people, the history, and discover what narratives we want to tell and what is special about this place. And a really important part of that too, of course, is the community priorities, so that's what we want to hear from you tonight. After this phase, which is going to wrap up towards the end of the summer into early fall, we're going to head into what we're calling Envision. And this is a really important and fun part where we start to seek out key destinations that have major opportunities for improvement along the river. We look for the overall vision, the story of the place that can kind of lead the White River into the future. And we're going to be developing options and future designs and plans for all of those different places. The last phase is really understanding how do we implement this? How do we govern it as a regional plan? How do we phase it over time? This is not a plan that is going to be done next year and then implemented the following. This is a sort of generational study, so it's going to take time, but we want to make sure that there's some key projects we can implement early. And how do we fund it? That's a critical question, of course, too. So over this next year, there's going to be a lot of different occasions for us to come together and show you all of those ideas that we're coming up with and get feedback back from you. This is us today in July kicking off. We'll be back again in October and then again in January to share all of that information. And we hope that you will join us again at that time. The outreach is going to take a lot of forms. So tonight in this room is just one element of it. We're also going to be attending community events throughout the summer, so you may see us at some of your favorite river-centered events. There's a lot of social media that you can stay in touch with what's happening. We're going to be kind of updating you in between those meetings. And we have a project website. So many of you, I would imagine, learned about this event and checked on the website where to attend. But if you haven't gone there, stay in touch and visit that website over the summer. You can see it right here, mywhiteriver.com. So what are we studying? We're up in Noblesville right now, but this is really a regional study. So we're looking at 58 miles of the White River, all the way from Lafayette Trace Park down to South Westway Park. So a significant amount of territory that we're covering. And we're looking at about 1 mile on either side of the river. But of course, we care about the context and the neighborhoods too, the trail connections. So that 1 mile is our key study area. You'll see it in yellow in the back. But we're really interested in what's beyond and what we need to connect to as well. One of the things that we know about water is that it connects everything, right? And so it's important that we look broader. One of the themes or the kind of big idea that we're starting to see emerge from this study is that people really want to learn more and discover the White River. We see that in lots of places it touches many communities. It actually touches 30% of the entire state within these 2 counties. So about 2 million people, but in many ways it's very invisible today. So there's some great assets about that it is a place of relaxation and quiet and escape, but we want to make it better connected, more accessible, and in some ways more activated so it touches more of your lives. And we think that there's a lot of things it can do to do that. It can connect communities in new ways through trails and transit connections. It can reveal its culture and history in more clear ways. And you can go back in the corner later and learn more about the history here. It can express the identity of the many dozens of communities adjacent and neighborhoods adjacent to it in new ways. It can help us get outdoors and stay healthy and be a healthy community. And it can help us experience nature and keep nature healthy in new ways. So those are really kind of the key ideas that we see. And that's the way we've organized tonight. So if you look around the room, you'll see that each of those themes is in a different colored board surrounding the room. Reveal history in the back corner, express our identity, get outdoors, experience nature, and connect communities. So after this, after we conclude, we'll move some of these chairs so you have space, and we invite you to go around the room, talk to our experts, and learn more about each of those topics. Then you'll see that at the back, there's a really large map, and that is an entire 58-mile study area. Within it, we have these flags at each of the stations. We hope that you'll leave your comments, your ideas, your hopes, your dreams, your fears for the river on those comment cards, take them back, and leave them on the map in the back. We also have little pins in the back, and we hope that you'll tell us about your favorite places along the river and how you use it. So there's instructions at the back of the room. And that's it. So if you have any questions, you can find us each with the name tags in the corners, and we're going to talk to you about each of these different topics. So as Brenda said, thank you so much for coming, and let's continue the conversation around the room. Yes.
Your study group, every brought the others next year.
That's a good question.
I mean, I know our ed
The people that you talked to, did you talk to anybody that owns private property? Okay. Have you already talked to them? Our family, that's my sister. We own a lot of land. We have been you got it. Yeah. I just get told Chelsea that someone spent all this money to figure out what to do with my land. I just have told Chelsea. And in fact, it's right up against it. We're all cousins. Good morning, all. It's our long family. I've already almost run over someone in my field. Now, field equipment. They were out having sex in my field.
Something has already been decided, something has already been engaged, but you are